O Great Spirit, saints and sages of all times, of all places, O ye pathmakers of old, pour forth thy blessings upon us. May our communication be clear. May our way be clear. May our meditation be uplifted. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. As we join together this morning, focus your attention at the sun center, the point between your eyes. And as you are able, sit with your hands upon the thighs, with the index finger and the thumb together. Taking a long, deep inhalation and exhalation. Let go of all of the tension in the body. And again, 2 more times. Now take a small attention, pay a small attention to your jaw, to your face. And again, releasing the tension, the being, the body, the jaw, the face. Inhale 3 times through the nose and exhale 3 times through the nostrils. Slowly, steadily, no effort. And now turn your head to the left with a resurrection breath and exhale twice. Bring the head back to the center. Begin to watch your breath, letting the inhalation and the exhalation come of its own accord with ease. Now with the next inhalation of the breath, pull the energy to the limbs of the body, from the limbs of the body to the trunk of the body. Use the sipping breath. Sipping as through a straw, pull the energy from the trunk of the body to the spinal column. Now lifting that energy up from the base of the spine to the sun center, again with a sipping breath. And move the energy out in front of your body as a golden ball of light, sweeping around counterclockwise to the left encasing the entire being in golden light. And do this 2 more times. Now expand that golden light. The protection of your aura, expand it. And turn your attention upward. Ascend above the room that you are in. Ascend above the planet. Ascend to the high place. And now as you reach the high place, you see in front of you a beautiful, beautiful shrine. The shrine is made out of the trees and the rocks. Entering into this shrine, it is white, pure light. Walking towards the back of the shrine, you see a large pool of white light. Ever brighter it grows. You walk into the pool of light and feel the heaviness begin to dissolve away. Walk back towards the waterfall that you see of light. The light becomes brighter and brighter and brighter. And you stand under the light. Feel it pouring down upon your crown center. As you stand under the light, you become aware of that mantric sound pouring down upon your crown center. Your body begins to lift. You see The source of this light is the heart chakra of your chosen form of the divine, the heart chakra of your Ishta Devata, the heart chakra of the most magnificent, beautiful form of life to you, your divine one. The light is pouring forth from the heart center as you ascend upward. It pours upon you ever brighter and brighter. Your body becomes filled with the white light of Prema. Prem, Prem, Prem. Your body becomes filled with Anandic bliss. Ananda, Ananda, Ananda. All of the old is shaken away. Ananda, Ananda, Ananda. Feeling vivified and strengthened. You feel your body ready to walk forth from the light. Your entire being is radiant. You are filled with this light. You and your Ishta move from the waterfall of light together through the pond, feeling strengthened and vivified. All of your being is vitality. And as you walk out through this shrine, filled with everything that you need, you return to the high place to hold this sweetness within your being. Namaste. Welcome. Welcome to my heart. Welcome to our Sunday Sangha. May our time continue to be blessed as we have just been blessed by the divine. Once upon a yogi time, there was a man and a woman, and they were in love. They really loved each other. They liked spending time together. They had much attraction for each other. They were physically loving each other. They were mentally loving each other. They were emotionally loving each other. And the years went on, and they didn't have children. And so their relationship became closer and closer and closer. Just the two of them. But they lived in a community. People liked them. They were part of the community. But they were very independent. Very, very independent. So every time it seemed like people got to be too close to them, they moved a little bit. Moved a little bit up the hill. Up the hill, up the hill. And in time, as will happen in time, their bodies aged. Got a little bit harder to go down to the village every day to bake the bread. Got a little bit harder to be in the village every day. Winter came, snow piled up. Oh, very, very hard. And the woman caught a cold. Shivering. The man was out cutting the wood, trying to keep the house warm, trekking through the snow down to the village. People said, "Oh, hello, Henry. How's your wife? How's Ingrid? We miss her. Henry, would you like to come down to the village, and there's room in my house for you to stay? Let me help you carry the food. Let me help you carry the wood." No, no, no. We're fine as it is. We're fine by ourselves. Thank you. The doctor says, "Henry, can I come? Can I come and see Ingrid? See how she's doing?" No, no, no. We're fine. I can take care of her. You know, we've been together for a long time. The children came out and said, Mr. Henry, can we help you carry the groceries today? Can we see Miss Ingrid?" No, no, no. You go, you go, you go. I can do it by myself. She's my wife. My wife. I should take care of her. What can you do? This doesn't go on very long, just a few days. And the cold becomes pneumonia. And she gets sicker and sicker. And the snow is piled up. Well, all would have been fine, perhaps. Mr. Henry made a mistake. Every day he carried the wood up. Every day in his bag he put a loaf of bread. He'd get up to the top of the mountain and he would unpile the wood, light up the fire, and give Miss Ingrid the bread every day. And at first, she didn't notice. He didn't keep any. He kept saying, "You have to get strong. You have to get strong. This food is for you. I can fast. I can fast. I don't need food." Well, snow piled high. His energy went plunk low. And one morning, on his way down to the village, he fell. He was so exhausted he couldn't get up. He fell. Poor Mr. Henry. He lay there in the cold. He lay there in the ice all day. And you know what happened? Around about evening time, people in the village said, "Where's Mr. Henry? He hasn't been here today. Where's Henry? He hasn't been here. I wonder if Ingrid's all right." And then people said, well, he doesn't want us to bother him. He gets angry. He gets upset if we try to help. We can't help him. Let him go. But one little child said, no, something's wrong. Something's wrong. I feel like something's wrong. I have to go see. And so she went along the path with her lantern and her papa. Let's go find Mr. Henry. Alas, they find him. And he's transitioned. He fell down. He was so weak. He died halfway down the mountain. Oh no, oh no, oh no. They keep walking. They cover him, of course, People got to get up to the hut to see, is Ingrid all right? Is Miss Ingrid all right? And up they go. And the fire has gone out in the fireplace. No water, no food. Very, very, very cold. And Miss Ingrid is barely, barely, barely hanging on. And so they do what they can. They do what they can. They make a pallet for her and carry her down the mountain, past her beloved, down into the village, into their home. They place her near the fire. They call the doctor. They help to nurture her back to good health. And then they go and they take care of Henry's body. And everybody sits around and says, what a shame. What a shame. What a waste. We had plenty of food. We had plenty of water. We had plenty of wood. We offered again and again and again and again to help. But he kept saying, no, it's mine. I can take care of us. I can take care of us. We don't need any of the others. And so what happens, Miss Ingrid has to live by herself. She ends up down in the village and finds that people are very kind. It's a big adjustment. She's lived with him alone for so many years. Because somehow she got the idea and he got the idea that if they really loved each other, if it was real love, it could be contained. It could be contained, it could be locked up, and did not need any of the others. In the same village, there was a mom and a dad. New mom, new dad. And when the baby was born, everybody came and said, oh, this baby is so beautiful. Oh, we wish this baby so, so, so well. We're going to name her Jewel. They held the baby in their arm and everybody said, what a beautiful baby. She cooed, smiled at the people. And everybody loved the baby until she started. She became unhappy. She started talking, oh, no. Oh, well, you're not supposed to do that, Here, says the neighbor to the mother, take Jewel back. Take Jewel back. I really love Jewel, but I really love her when she's good. I really love Jewel because she's such a cute baby. I love Jewel because she smiles at me every time I see her, and it makes me feel so good. Oh, and I love your little boy, John, because he runs up to see me and says, hi, hi, hi. And it makes me feel so good. You see how it starts? He makes me feel good. The baby makes me feel good. In time, mom and pop, the children grow. They see the children grow. And all of a sudden, that beautiful baby that is smiling and loving and laughing, it has no opinion of its own. It wants to do, I want to stay up. I don't want to go to bed. No, mom. No, so I want to do this. I don't want to do that. You have to be a good girl. You have to be a good boy. What does that mean? Jules said I have to be good. What happens if I'm not good? Well, Papa says, your mother really loves it when you're good, and your mother really doesn't like it when you're not good. So she loves me only when I'm good. But if I do something that she thinks is not good, she doesn't love me, right? Oh, no. Your mother loves you always, no matter what. Jewel's confused. It's not what it sounds like. It sounds like she loves me if I will do something. And it sounds like she loved me when I was a baby because I smiled. Yeah. Because I made her feel better about herself by my smiling. Sounds like I'm not really loved, Jewel, the child, thinks. And fear begins to set in the mind. And then she grows up. Jewel grows up. Her brother grows up. Oh, and what happens? They start to do things that their mom and pop don't like. She drives the car too fast. He stays out too late. They start dating people that mom and dad don't like. They have political opinions, life philosophy opinions that are different than mom and dad's. And what happens? Again, conflict. You need to live your life the way I think you should live your life, the way I want you to live your life. And if you don't know how that is, come on home and I'll tell you. If you don't know how that is, why, I'll be glad to text you and tell you, or I'll be glad to write to you and tell you, or I'll be glad to talk to you on the phone and tell you. If you don't know how you should live your life, just ask and I'll tell you. And in time, everybody was very unhappy, very unhappy. Ingrid, who lost her beloved husband because she didn't have room to accept help, to love others. Her love was confined to this one, to Henry. The mom was unhappy, Pop was unhappy because their children did not do what they wanted them to do. When they wanted them to do it and in the way they wanted them to do it. Well, one day, a wise soul walked into town and sits down and starts chanting. goes to the center of town and starts chanting. A little odd in this village, but Om Mani Padme Om Om Mani Padme and the sound radiates through the village. And people come around and say, I see. We have a wise soul here. He says, well, how can I help you? When they all gather around. And the mother and the father and Ingrid and the children, they all say, we don't understand love. The children say, my mother says she loves me. My father says he loves me. But then they get angry at me when I live my life the way I think I'm supposed to. When I do something different than what they do. And the wife says, well, my husband says he loves me, but my body's gotten older. I don't look as the same way I did anymore. And his eyes are wandering to other women. And the husband says, well, my wife doesn't look at me the same way as she did when she believed in my dreams. I haven't given her everything that she said she wanted in life. Our life hasn't turned out the way that I thought it would. And the little yogi said, well, I guess there's only one solution. Always more than one solution. Always more. But here's the solution. What's the problem? Well, all of you have been living if love. You've lived in because I love you if you do this. You've said to each other, I love you because you did this. I love you if you agree with me. I love you if you're pleasant to be around. I love you if you do exactly as I would like you to do. But that's hard, isn't it? Isn't that hard? Because what brings me joy, it's not what brings you joy most of the time. What seems as if it's right, the way to be happy in the world to you, it's not really right for the others. It seems. It seems that what is good in this moment is not good in the next moment. How is it, you might wonder, that I love this person so much that I can't think of anything but them? And we get married and it's so wonderful. I can't think of anything but them. How is it that 20 years go by and 30 years go by and I can't stand to be with them? How is that possible? That in this time, I went from loving that person more than anyone to not being able to even be in the same room. Was it love? Was it karma? Oh, yes, it was karma for sure. It's all karma. But how do I lift above the chakric level? How do you lift above the chakric level? What do we do to rise above, to truly have the divine love flowing through us? For to truly love is to accept the other as they are, to accept them, to accept their right to live as they choose to. Now, it does not mean at all that you have to be walked upon. You don't have to be a doormat. You don't have to like the way they behave, but you need to stop trying to control it. If the way another person is living or being, another person whom you are in a love relationship with, everybody, that is, really everyone, how can you not love? They are part of life, part of what you are. They are part of you. You may not like them. You may not feel that their behavior is the wisest, but did they ask you? And even if they ask you, I will tell you that many times they don't want the answer. They don't want to know. They don't want your opinion. They really don't. They don't want you telling them mentally. They certainly don't want you telling them verbally. If they ask you, let them ask a second time. If they ask you, let them ask a third time. And then be very careful before you offer your opinion, your attempt to solution everything that they are doing in their life. For at some point in time, they will say, no, 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 no. It's my life. I have to live my life. And so what is the error? The error is that we confuse love for control. We confuse love for lust, for a physical feeling. We confuse love for possessiveness. We confuse love because of our ego self. No. You love the child because it's, oh, that child looks like me. Oh, that's a continuation of moi, moi, my wonderful ego self will continue through this child. And then when they behave in ways that are not congruent with your view of yourself, you say, oh no, oh no, what happened? I have to control that. I have to control that. I have to control that. Love is different in cultures around the world. Different cultures emphasize different qualities, different views of love. Some cultures, the family, the love for family is first above the love for the individual. Other cultures, the love for the other, as in a lover, a husband, is or a wife, is takes priority. Other cultures, the love for the children, the love for the friend. It's very interesting to go to places in the East where truly the relationship between the husband and wife, it's not genuinely a relationship of love. There is love, but it is not this all-possessing, all-consuming concept that we have in the West where the spouse has to be everything. But rather it is the spouse has a function, my friends have a function, my family has a function in this totality of that which I love. But there must be a way for you and me to transcend all of this, to transcend all of the love which has its disappointments, which has its confinements. There is. And that is turning your attention to your relationship with, turning your attention to and your relationship with the divine. Not the divine as I see the divine, but the divine as you see the divine. In the Kriya Yoga, in mystical thought, one of the ways that we refer to this is as the Ishta, personal, Devata, chosen form of the divine. And it is the divine in the form of life that speaks to you at this moment, that speaks most clearly to you. Now, the moon has moved into Capricorn today. We have a new moon tomorrow. Depending upon where you live, it's tomorrow or Tuesday. And Capricorn is the state of consciousness associated with utilizing. What do you do? How do you utilize this idea of love? In a way, this concept, this consciousness, attuning to love in a way that makes a difference to you, makes a difference in your life, will help you in your life. Well, you sit down and meditate, and I'm going to take you through a ritual in just a short minute to enable you to reconnect, to attune to become one with, to become more intimate with your chosen form of the divine. Where you see all the other ways that we love have some degree of, I'm saying it again, possessiveness, the desire to control. Loving because it makes you feel better about yourself. Well, love does make one feel joy-filled, one feel bliss-filled. But the key is to learn to love without barriers, to love without the need to say, well, I loved you yesterday, but I'm not going to love you today. Now, again, you know, my guru used this example all the time. He would say, you're walking through life and your spouse who you really love comes to you and says, I met Mary Jane last week and I am so in love with her. I'm sorry I can't live with you anymore. I have to go be with Mary Jane. Now, Kriyanandaji said, if you really love that person, you would say, okay, I really love you. Let me help you to make that transition to living with Mary Jane easier. It's a razor's edge. Razor's edge. It does not mean that I make that transition to living with Mary Jane. It does not mean that I'm letting myself be stomped over. It does not mean that I have to like it. Yet if I truly love the person, as I say I do, I have to say, well, I want what's best for you. I want what's best for you. I want what's going to make you happy. If this is going to make you happy and you're going to be unhappy here, well, then we'll find a way to allow the changes to occur without resistance. Easier said than done. Easier said than done. But what we can do is reflect upon this concept and really say, do a little tarka. Say, really, what am I doing in my life where I am genuinely confining the people who love me, where I'm always making a suggestion about what they should do. All they want is they want me to listen. They don't care. They don't want my advice. They just want me to listen. Let me tell you, 99% of the time, that's all people want, is they want somebody to listen to them. They don't come seeking advice. They say they do, but they don't really. They don't really. And frankly, much of the time they know what they need. They just need somebody to be there to truly, completely listen. So you learn to love by beginning to cultivate and enrich and enliven your relationship with the divine so that you can see the divine in everyone, in everything, in all circumstances. And you can look at your life at any time and say, what was right yesterday is not right today. What was right for me to do yesterday, for me to say yesterday, it's no longer correct. That's the hardest part, to see for yourself and let go. to see for yourself time has changed. Time and space are different. What was right yesterday is not right at this moment. What's right at this moment may not be right at the next moment. What was acceptable yesterday, it may no longer be acceptable today. The 70-year-old man doesn't need his mama treating him like a baby. Neither does the 18-year-old girl or boy need their mom and dad treating them like a child. But if you've got that 5-year-old that you're responsible for, they do need your help in different ways. So just know when the time changes and how your responsibilities change. And we do that through tarka, through meditation, through deep reflection, to be able to see clearly that which needs to be seen. And through attuning to the divine. And so we will spend the rest of our meditation time together in attuning to the divine. I will lead you through a small ritual that will help you to vivify the presence of the divine in your life and to learn to love as the divine loves, with total and complete acceptance, with allowing you to be free to do what you feel is the right thing in your life, to learn what you need to learn, to grow, to unfold spiritually. Spiritual unfoldment is not easy. It's not complicated, but it's not easy. It requires you to stop and reflect deeply, to meditate, to do mantra, to perform ritual, to in turn, to change that which needs to be changed. So it's not complicated, but it does take effort. And so your Ishtadevata can ease your way. Let us go together to that. Namaste. If you will, continue to focus or refocus your attention at the sun center and see yourself again in the high place. Turn your head to the left with a double exhalation, using the resurrection breath, and bring the head back to the center. Begin to watch your breath. In front of you is the shrine that you were in earlier, the shrine of light. And you see that the opening has expanded tremendously. It appears the shrine has grown and become cave-like. Massive. You enter again and see that the room is very, very, very large. The room is deep. And filled with light. Using your own words, call forth your Ishtadevata. Something like this. Most beloved Ishta, please come forth that I might see thy form. Please come forth that I might know thee. See a bindu of light coming from the distance. Growing brighter and brighter. Until you can see, feel, hear, your most beloved Ishtadevata coming toward you. The light goes brighter and brighter. See your Ishtadevata, feel your Ishta at this moment. And smile and greet the Ishta as you would the being that you respect the most upon the life. Thank your Ishta for coming to your presence. Now simply sit in the presence of the divine. As we leave this meditation, ask your Ishtadevata to join you, to come with you. Ask that every breath that you breathe, you might be in the presence of your Ishta. And as you would a most respected friend, a most respected elder, most respected and cherished loved one, speak with your Ishta. Turn to your Ishta. Take refuge in your Ishta. Listen, and your Ishta will speak to you. Return to this cave of healing again and again. Filling your life, filling your spirit, filling your soul, your memory track, filling your physical body with love. Washing free the karmic binds. Om Namo 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 Namo. Om. 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 Namo Namo. Om Shanti. 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 Om Shanti. 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 Om. Hold forth. Hold on to your Ishtadevata. Return again and again and again. Let go and find deep and abiding love flowing into your life. As always, I thank you for your blessing. I thank you for the blessing of your presence, for coming and joining the sangha and lifting and lifting and lifting, that we might all be blessed. Namaste. Shanti. 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 It truly is a joy to share this time with you. Shanti.